We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for the afternoon, His Excellency Ambassador Medhat Meligi, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. It's a very good afternoon to you, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon to you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your time. Mr. Ambassador, what can you tell us about Egyptian-Singaporean ties, especially with today's visit of Singapore's president to Egypt?
Well, I think first of all we have to mention that the visit of Singapore's president to Cairo comes at a very symbolic moment. I mean,
yes.
First of all, I mean the crisis in the Middle East and Egypt have been described as the Mecca of any peace-seeking country who wants to know firsthand about what is the situation exactly here. So that's one of the reasons I believe, and maybe the most important one. And on a bilateral level, I think that both countries are preparing to celebrate 60 years of diplomatic relation in 2026. As we all know that diplomatic relations started in 1966, and Egypt was the first Arab country at the time to recognize Singapore after its independence in 1965.
Yes.
So, of course, this visit reflects not only the depth of the historical sites, but also a determination to expand cooperation across all aspects: political, economical, cultural, even educational.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to the most important one, I mean, since we are talking politics, so I think the political dimension is a very strong arm of this relationship. Egypt and Singapore have long enjoyed strong coordination in international fora, such as the UN, the non-aligned movement, and many more.
Yes.
Both countries, and this is a very important thing, co-launched the Asia-Middle East Dialogue in 2004, with Singapore hosting the first meeting, and then Egypt hosted the second one in Sharm el-Sheikh. Singapore always supported Egypt's candidacy in any international arena,
yes.
And especially when it comes to the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member of the Council, and it has always recognized the Egyptian pivotal role in the regional stability.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes, please.
Sorry, go ahead. Right, Mr. Ambassador, of course, now this visit is very important, as you mentioned, with regards to developing bilateral ties, and it comes as part of supporting peace and boosting economic joint development. And today, of course, there are expectations of several memorandums of understanding to be signed between the two countries in different sectors, as of course both Egypt and Singapore have strategic locations, in the regional and global levels. How important do you see collaboration in matters of economic and trade ties?
I think what you mentioned is a very important thing that we have to mention.
Yes.
I mean, both countries occupy critical maritime crossroads.
Yes.
Egypt, on one hand, controls the Suez Canal, which is a lifeline of global trade. And on the other hand, Singapore operates one of the busiest ports in the world. I think together they have a natural partnership in shipping, in logistics, in securing international sea lines, especially relevant. I mean, the current challenges in the Red Sea on one hand and the Indo-Pacific on the other hand. So this is a very important thing, and I believe that the Suez Canal corridor has always been a key focus. Singapore, with its expertise in port management, can play a very strategic role
yes.
in developing Egypt's ports and free zones. Let's not forget something very relevant, which is what each country stands for each other. As we all know, Singaporean investments in Egypt, they exceed the $1 billion US. Well, of course, particularly in the fields of logistics and food industries, IT, and even in energy. And Egypt is considered, for Singapore, the third largest investment destination in the Middle East. While for Egypt, the relations with Asia,
yes.
And especially Singapore, is a very important thing for us. I mean, it's the fourth largest financial hub, and we have to put this in consideration. Although it's a small country, But being the fourth largest financial hub, and actually Singaporean, as we all know, they are the bearer of one of the most, if not the most, important passports in the world. That shows to which extent Singapore is the country that is welcome everywhere for its business capacities and capabilities. So
Absolutely.
I think Egypt has an interest in trying to see where we can do this, and even more, we have to talk that there is a base that is very important for Singaporean, and I believe this base is Al-Azhar University, that welcomes currently between 300 and 400 Singaporean students each year who return home as ambassadors of our religious moderation and the possibility of interfaith dialogue. So we can always foster and exploit this edge of Al-Azhar University to have a better relations with Singapore due to Al-Azhar University. I mean, every point counts and every aspect of the relation is very important.
Absolutely, Mr. Ambassador. You mentioned a very important issue of cultural and educational exchanges as well between Egypt and Singapore. And just before I let you go, Mr. Ambassador, if you can tell us a bit about how you think, the two countries could benefit and deepen their partnership under Asian African cooperation initiatives as well.
Well, I think, as I said at the beginning, this visit is far more than just a ceremonial event.
Yes.
It is a strong political and economic signal, and something that both countries need. I mean, the president of Singapore would not travel half the world to come to Egypt if he didn't have something substantial to discuss it. For us also, I think for Egypt, it demonstrates this open door policy that we have towards especially Asia, and how we can learn from the success stories that we have. And Singapore is one of the most inspiring success stories in the world, and how we can learn from their willingness to diversify their partnerships beyond traditional relations. And also, I mean, Singapore recognizes Egypt as a strategic partner in the Middle East and Africa, and I think we can be the doorway to many projects, I mean tripartite projects between Egypt, Singapore and Africa. And I believe that the future of Egyptian-Singaporean ties lies in, as I said, in mutual learning and how we can foster joint development between the two countries, moving from traditional trade relations to a deeper, I believe and hope for a strategic partnership.
Absolutely.
This is what we are expecting from such a visit. We welcome the President of Singapore, and we hope that we can both benefit from this visit, and always with our slogan that has always been here, the win-win dialogue and the win-win exchange with any other country.
Absolutely. Your Excellency, Ambassador Medhat Meligi, the former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you very much, sir, for your time and your insight on today's episode of Cairo Local Time. A short break, and we'll be back to continue today's edition of the show. Do stay tuned.